I'ma fuck one of y'all. Why? Swear to God, I ain't gonna do no more talking. When I see you, it's on sight.
Manhunt is still underway here across DeKalb County, likely venturing outside of county lines. They are actively looking for the man who opened fire in this apartment right behind.
Absolutely. This is something that is completely senseless. Not only do we have 2 lives tragically lost, but one of them a child.
Seen a bunch of people crying. Something I did it once.
Told us many times, if my child don't come back to him, he will pop every kid in here.
This dude really posted a whole video threatening to roll up in a wheelchair to beat his wife's ass. Like, sir, you're in a hospital bed making TikToks about violence. And the worst part? Nobody thought he was serious. Until he was. You're on TikTok Crimes. We cover what happens when social media fame turns fatal. TikTok stars, Instagram couples, Facebook influencers. When their posts become crime scenes, we break down exactly what went wrong. These aren't just viral stories. These are real murders, real victims. Subscribe right now if you want the truth behind the trending hashtags, because by the time something goes viral, somebody's usually already dead. Here's what happened.
You know, if I had to roll myself to your motherfucking house in a wheelchair, if I lose my kidney, I'ma roll myself to your house, knock on your door, and I'ma you goddamn in your fucking face. Yeah, for real, man. I don't give.
That's 40-year-old William Lewis Allmond. And yeah, he's making these threats from what looks like a hospital room. His wife had just filed for a restraining order. And this was his response. He went straight to social media. Now, here's where it gets real dark. William actually did it. He carried out every single threat. Police got the call about gunshots at the Forest at Columbia Apartments in DeKalb County. When they showed up, they found something that would shake even the most experienced officers. A young woman shot multiple times. But wait, there was someone else. Someone who should have never been involved in this mess. So let's talk about who Tomika Pollins actually was, because she deserves to be more than just another statistic.
Amazon Prime made a bitch come faster than Amazon Prime, yeah.
But back to Tomika. Born in 1994, raised in Stone Mountain, Georgia. She was a Stone Mountain High School graduate who built her whole life around taking care of people. At 29, she was working security.
I work for NORAD and Associates.
And look, being a security guard isn't glamorous work. The hours are long, the pay isn't great, but Tomika, she picked up every extra shift she could get because that's how she took care of her family. Here's what people actually said about her. She was the one who could walk into a room full of arguing relatives and somehow get everyone to chill out. Her siblings literally called her the family peacemaker. Like when your cousins are about to throw hands at Thanksgiving. Call Tomika. She'd have everyone laughing within 5 minutes. Her friends said she was that person who'd show up for you at 3 a.m., no questions asked. And that loyalty, that ride-or-die mentality, that's exactly what got her killed. See, Tomika believed in doing things right. She wasn't about drama or chaos. She wanted stability, peace, a life where her family could thrive without constantly looking over their shoulders. Everything she did came from a place of love. Everything. So when Tomika met William Lewis Allmond, this 48-year-old man who seemed like he had his life together, she thought she'd found her person. And honestly, at first it looked good. William was older, yeah, but he talked like someone who'd learned from his mistakes. He promised her stability, partnership, all the things she was looking for. And Tomika, who spent her whole life taking care of everyone else, finally thought someone was going to take care of her for once. In public, William was that couple goals guy. Always had his arm around her, calling her beautiful, making sure everyone knew she was his. They went to family functions together, took little weekend trips, posted those photos that make you think, oh, they look happy. Tomika really believed she'd found someone who would help her build that safe, loving home she'd always dreamed of. But y'all, the red flags started showing up quick. That age difference. It wasn't about maturity or wisdom or any of that. It was about control. People close to Tomika started noticing things. She wasn't laughing as much. That bright energy she had. It was like someone dimmed the lights. But they still kept posting those happy couple videos.
Well, who's that? I was talking about the judge. The judge told me they just got a high price ass whooping because I whooped her with a Gucci belt. Yeah, it's real Gucci. Stamped in the back from Italy. He didn't need to be there and he knock out. See, you know, I got a nice taste, but I'm a broke nigga with a high price taste bud though. You feel me? Yeah, for real. I got your bitch with me, nigga. I got your bitch. I got your bitch with me, nigga. I got your bitch. And she loving this thug and shit. Hey.
Now listen to what he's really saying here. I'm a broke guy with high taste. Sounds like a joke, right? But Tomika's people, they knew better. This man was obsessed with looking successful, with being seen as the man in charge, even when his bank account said otherwise. He wanted everyone to think he was this big shot, and when reality didn't match up, guess who paid the price? But here's the thing about Tomika. She didn't give up on people. Especially not when she'd already invested so much hope into the relationship. She kept thinking it would get better, that the man she fell for was still in there somewhere. She was trying so hard to make it work, not just for herself, but for her whole family's future. What she didn't realize was that she wasn't dealing with relationship problems. She was dealing with something way more dangerous.
Then I got my little cousin, big brother over them too, boy. That boy smooth, cool, boy. Come on, boy.
By early 2025, Tomika was done. Years of walking on eggshells, years of that constant anxiety in her chest, years of pretending everything was fine when it absolutely wasn't. Her family watched her light go out bit by bit. The woman who used to be the life of every family gathering? She'd barely speak now. She'd show up, sure, but she wasn't really there anymore. So Tomika did something that takes incredible courage. She filed for a restraining order against William. Not just for herself. She was thinking about everyone she loved and supported. This was her first real step toward freedom. Should have been the beginning of her new life. Instead, it kicked off the countdown to her death. William lost his mind when she left him. And when that restraining order hit, man, his whole world imploded. His ego couldn't handle it. Friends said he'd walk around muttering about how she'd disrespected him, how her family had turned her against him. He couldn't accept that maybe, just maybe, he was the problem. That's when William took his rage public, started posting videos where he played victim, talking about how Tomika and her family had done him wrong.
Y'all took this shit to another level. Y'all took this shit to another level. I'm talking about, it's the same thing. I call and check on your brother. He cussed me out and accused me of some bullshit. Call and check on you. You come at me the same way. I mean, first of all, when your dad was whooping me, your mama ass, boy, It wasn't just your mama. It was me and you. Why the you think they call me Wild Bill? But I'm still trying to get over. I'm still trying to figure out what the I done did to you or your brother.
Wild Bill. That's what he called himself. And he's literally telling the internet he's planning something. Right there. In public.
I'm trying to get over how you just talked to me through a message, though. That's how you and your brother be doing. Now, I mean, I ain't never did nothing now on y'all. I always been there for you. You know, I ain't asked you for nothing. You know what I'm saying? None of that. You know, I just reached out to you and everything, little girl. Know what I mean? But for the most talking that crazy like your brother called me a shit. Come on, man. Y'all ain't gonna get in my face and say that shit, boy.
Then he escalated. Because of course he did.
Boy, I don't care no more. Boy, it's gonna be your last time ever disrespecting somebody. You and your ass brother, boy. And calling me and my family out that name. Come on, man. Come on, man. Slaughter gang. I'm gonna fuck one of y'all. Boy, swear to God, I ain't gonna do no more talking. When I see you, it's on sight. This is my last one. Let me tell you something, little girl. Boy, I've been a grown man. But I will fuck you, your brother, and your boyfriend the fuck up, man. Just give me the address, man. I swear to God, I'm gonna show y'all some. I swear to God, on that thing around God's head, boy. I'm talking about, I don't give a fuck, boy. Boy, you gonna sit there and talk to me any kind of way? Y'all pop that shit. Y'all disrespect me. Don't beg for yourself when a nigga pop up in your face, cause I have no understanding no more. Y'all took this shit to another level.
He straight up told Tomika's family he'd shoot up their house. Said it didn't matter who was inside. Said even the kids weren't safe. And people still thought he was just talking tough on the internet. Then came the hospital video. William looking like he might be getting dialysis or something. And he's still making threats.
You know, if I had to roll myself to your motherfucking house in a wheelchair, if I lose my kidney, I'ma roll myself to your house, knock on your door, and I'ma put you goddamn in your fucking face. Yeah, for real, man. I don't give a
Tomika had no idea what was coming. She'd moved into the forest at Columbia Apartments on Columbia Drive in DeKalb County, trying to start fresh. Living with her was 7-year-old Dior Scott, her niece. This little girl loved drawing, would sing every Disney song at the top of her lungs, and had to tell her auntie Tomika every single detail about her day. They were inseparable. Dior felt safe with Tomika, and Tomika treasured every moment with that baby. Tomika was building something new, a stable home, a safe space. She had support from friends and family who backed her decision to leave. Everything was finally looking up.
talk to a grown ass man any kind of way. All you gotta do is just send me their goddamn address. I'm gonna pull up and beat y'all the fuck up. I swear to God. Niece, nephew, I don't give a fuck.
June 14, 2024, Friday afternoon, 2:48 p.m. DeKalb County Police rushed to the forest at Columbia Apartments after multiple people called 911 about gunshots. What those officers walked into? No amount of training prepares you for finding a 7-year-old with bullet wounds.
A massive police presence at an apartment complex in Decatur. These are live images from the First Alert chopper. Let's give you an idea of where this is. The 2500 block of Columbia Drive in DeKalb County in Decatur. This is at the Forest at Columbia Apartments, and we've noticed at least more than a dozen police officers there, K-9 unit as well, kind of surrounding and taping off one particular apartment. We could see a vehicle on the curb there, which is not where it should normally be. It should be in the parking lot there, but it's partially on the curb. So right now, officers investigating, still unclear what's happening right here. We do have our resources in the Atlanta News First newsroom working to find out what's going on.
Officers found 29-year-old Tomika and 7-year-old Dior with multiple gunshot wounds. Paramedics tried everything. Both of them died right there, in that apartment. Broad daylight, their own home.
It's now in a double murder that has shaken a DeKalb County neighborhood. Relatives of the victim say the man who his estranged wife and 7-year-old niece threatened to kill the whole family.
Who does this? Who kills a child? Police didn't need Sherlock Holmes for this one. Witnesses saw everything. A man approached the apartment that afternoon. When they wouldn't let him in, he didn't just leave. He smashed a window and started shooting through it. That man, 48-year-old William Lewis Allmond, Tomika's estranged husband, Dior's uncle by marriage, the same man who'd been posting those videos, making those threats, telling everyone exactly what he planned to do.
If I lose my kidney, I'm gonna roll myself to your house, knock on your door, and I'm gonna you goddamn in your fucking face, pussies.
He'd driven to Tomika's apartment, tried to force his way in, and when that didn't work, he shot through the broken window until both Tomika and Dior were dead. Then he ran, just left them there and ran. The manhunt spread across DeKalb County and beyond.
Manhunt is still underway here across DeKalb County, likely venturing outside of county lines. They are actively looking for the man who opened fire in this apartment right behind.
24 police vehicles flooded the area. Officers knocked on every door, pulled security footage from every camera, interviewed anyone who might have seen where William went. He was armed, dangerous, and had already killed a child. Nobody was taking any chances. Hours passed. The whole neighborhood held its breath. Then finally,
police have now captured the man accused of killing a woman and a young child today in DeKalb County.
It happened on Columbia Drive, and police say he was no stranger to the victims.
they got him. Arrested without incident. Probably the only thing William did peacefully that entire day. The community was reeling. This wasn't supposed to happen here. Not in broad daylight, not to a 7-year-old baby. Officer Elise Wells from DeKalb Police stood in front of the cameras and said what everyone was thinking.
This is something that is completely senseless. Not only do we have 2 lives tragically lost, but one of them a child who's just getting started.
Then Tomika's mother, Nikita Bruce, stepped forward with information that made everything worse.
He told us many times, if my child don't come back to him, he will pop every kid in here. He don't care who it is, even he will kill everyone in this house.
The family had been desperately trying to serve William with legal papers. They'd been working with authorities, doing everything by the book, but nobody could find him. Meanwhile, William kept posting videos, leaving voicemails, sending messages, making threats to anyone who'd listen, getting bolder every single day. How many red flags does it take? Seriously, how many times does someone have to say, "I'm going to kill my wife and her family," before somebody does something? Nikita told reporters that William had warned them repeatedly, said he was coming for the whole family, made it crystal clear what his intentions were. She also revealed that when William showed up at that apartment, other people were inside. Some got hurt trying to protect Tomika and Dior. The only reason more people didn't die? A locked door. DeKalb County officials promised justice. County CEO Lorraine Cochran Johnson released a statement that, honestly, what do you even say after something like this? No family should ever have to endure such an unthinkable tragedy. As a mother, and as your CEO, I grieve alongside our community. My heart goes out to the entire family, and we stand ready to support them every step of the way. Officer Wells talked about how these cases hit different when kids are involved. Said this was something none of the responding officers would ever forget. This is something none of us will ever forget. She's right. First responders see a lot of terrible things, but finding a 7-year-old shot to death by her own uncle, that stays with you forever. The community showed up for Tomika and Dior. People who'd never met them brought flowers to the apartment complex, left teddy bears for Dior, lit candles, wrote messages, Complete strangers stood outside that building, crying for a woman and child they'd only seen on the news. People shared stories about Tomika, her laugh that could fill a room, her habit of checking on everyone else before herself, how she'd give you her last dollar if you needed it. And Dior. God, what do you say about a 7-year-old who never got to turn 8? They talked about her imagination, her energy, her pure joy at just being alive. A little girl who loved to color and sing and tell everyone about her day. She was innocent, completely innocent. And she died because a grown man couldn't handle rejection. Someone started a GoFundMe for Dior's funeral expenses. Because on top of grieving, this family now has to figure out how to bury a child. The donations poured in, people wanting to do something, anything, to help carry this impossible burden. But we need to talk about the bigger picture here. William is in custody. The investigation is wrapping up. Case closed, right? Wrong. Because there are questions that demand answers. Why wasn't he stopped sooner? The man literally posted his murder plans on social media. He threatened specific people with specific violence. Where was the intervention? Were there warning signs that got ignored? Spoiler, yes. All those videos were warning signs. Could protective measures have actually protected Tomika and Dior? Or was that restraining order just a piece of paper that gave false hope? These aren't just legal questions. They're moral ones. They force us to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, are we doing enough? As neighbors, as a community, as a society, are we actually protecting people who need protection? So what do we do now? First thing, when someone tells you they're scared, believe them, every single time. Don't minimize it. Don't say they're overreacting. Listen and believe. Second, support your local domestic violence organizations. The shelters, the hotlines, the counseling services. They need funding, volunteers, resources. These programs literally save lives, but only if they have what they need to operate. And finally, demand better. Better laws with teeth, faster response times when threats are made, real consequences for violation of protective orders, training for law enforcement on recognizing escalation patterns, hold elected officials accountable for keeping their communities safe. Because behind every story like this is a devastated family. Every mother who dies leaves children behind. Every child who dies leaves a hole that never heals. And every time we shrug and say that's terrible without demanding change, we're basically admitting we're okay with it happening again. Tomika Pollins deserved better. Dior Scott deserved better. Their family deserved better. And until we make real changes to how we handle domestic violence, how we respond to threats, how we protect the vulnerable, we're failing them. We're failing all of them. Let me know what you think down below.